After my brother's death, my father never walked very well again. He had to struggle to lift his feet, and when he did get them up, he came down slightly out of control. From time to time, Paul's right hand had to be reaffirmed. Then my father would shuffle away again. He could not shuffle in a straight line from trying to lift his feet. Like many Scottish ministers before him, he had to derive what comfort he could from the faith that his son had died fighting. For some time, though, he struggled for more to hold on to. "Are you sure you've told me everything you know about his death?" he asked. I said, "Everything." "It's not much, is it?" "No," I replied, "but you can love completely without complete understanding." "That I have known and preached," my father said. Once my father came back with another question. "Do you think I could have helped him?" he asked. Even if I might have thought longer, I would have made the same answer. "Do you think I could have helped him?" I answered. We stood waiting in deference to each other. How can a question be answered that asks a lifetime of questions? After a long time, he came with something he must have wanted to ask from me first. "Do you think it was just a stick-up and foolishly he tried to fight his way out? You know what I mean, that it wasn't connected with anything in his past." "The police don't know," I said. "But do you?" he asked, and I felt the implication. I've told you all I know. If you push me far enough, all I really know is that he was a fine fisherman." "You know more than that," my father said. "He was beautiful." "Yes," I said, "he was beautiful. He should have been. You taught him." My father looked at me a long time. He just looked at me. So this was the last time he and I ever said to each other about Paul's death. Indirectly, though, he was present in many of our conversations. Once, for instance, my father asked me a series of questions that suddenly made me wonder whether I understood even my father, whom I felt closer to than any man I have ever known. "You like to tell true stories, don't you?" he asked. And I answered, "Yes, I like to tell stories that are true." Then he asked, "After you have finished your true stories sometime, why don't you make up a story and the people to go with it? Only then will you understand what happened and why. It is those we live with and love and should know who elude us. Now nearly all those I loved and did not understand when I was young are dead, but I still reach out to them. Now, of course, I am too old to be much of a fisherman, and now, of course, I usually fish the big waters alone, although some friends think I shouldn't. Like many fly fishermen in western Montana, where the summer days are almost Arctic in length, I often do not start fishing until the cool of the evening. Then in the Arctic half-light of the canyon, all existence fades into being with my soul and memories and the sounds of the Big Blackfoot River, and a 4-count rhythm and the hope that a fish will rise. Eventually, all things merge into one, and a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of the rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters.